He's not. That's not his name. That's not his name. Can you prove it? Where's it at?
I can prove it.
Where?
You know why, nigga?
Where?
You know why, nigga?
Where?
Everywhere I go, nigga, I face death, nigga. Everywhere I go, somebody trying to put a gun to my head. You know how many times the police pull me over? You know how many times? You know I got a bounty? You know I got a bounty out on me? Huh?
Okay.
You know, I don't even live out here.
Okay.
I don't even live out here.
So
I'm out of Babylon.
So why
I'm off grid. I'm off grid.
grid?
I'm fighting the beast. Yeah, I'm fighting the beast.
So
you want to know
how do you
more
eat?
about me?
How do you eat?
How do I eat? God provide.
So where do you
He
go to get
me.
food?
I go wherever God want me to go to.
But where do you go to
You know
get
how
food?
many states I've been to?
Where do
People
you
know
go
me
to
from
get food?
Oakland to LA to here to
Where do you
to
go to
fucking
get, where do you-
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Where do you go to get food?
I got land.
Where do you go to get food?
Where do I go to get food?
Yeah.
I'm working on farms.
You work. Who owns those farms?
You best to believe the Most High doing the 144,000.
Who? Somebody has to own those farms.
I just said it.
So the Lord comes down here by himself and he's there?
I just said it, didn't I?
But who owns those farms?
Who you think owns them?
We know who owns them.
Who you think
those
owns them?
so-called white folks, they own
There
them.
ain't no white folks don't own shit.
Yeah. You have to
Not
go
over
to them.
here.
You
Not
have to
over
go
here.
to them.
Not over here.
You have to go to them.
No.
Yeah,
no, white
you
folks
have to
don't
go
own
to
shit
them.
over here.
You have to go to them. And the one,
We take
just like it tell you
anything
about the
that God say
curses,
take,
just
we
like
take
it tell you
it.
about the curses in Deuteronomy
Anything
28.
that say God say take, we take
Just
it.
like the curses.
Ain't no curses.
Yeah, it is
Ain't no
curses.
curses
Yeah,
for
it
me.
is. It
Ain't no
is.
curses
You
for
just
me.
said
Look,
you
see this nigga?
You've been to jail.
Bro,
You've been
400
you
years
got
of
a
slavery
bounty,
over with.
All of that. How?
My curse is over with. You see them chains?
How?
You see them chains?
Them
got broke by
why
angels,
don't you have your
nigga.
own land? Why don't you?
I do. I do.
What do you rule?
I do.
What do you rule?
I got my own land. I got territory in Oakland.
What do
you
you
go to
rule?
Oakland right now and say,
What about
ask
Oakland?
about
What
my
about
territory.
Oakland? What about the Lord going to destroy all those places?
Oh.
And this ultimately this place, the
Not-
U.S.
not-
he's
not-
going to
not- he's
destroy
not
just
certain-
like
certain-
this place is
certain
Sodom and
territories.
Egypt.
Yes.
Yeah,
it
he's
is
going to
Babylon.
destroy this
Yes,
whole
he
land.
is. Yes,
and
he
those
is.
that are not a part of the Lord's elect,
Yes,
you're going
he
to
is.
burn.
And
Just
if
like
you
I
don't-
tell you in
exactly.
Malachi.
So if you don't fucking listen, you're going to burn,
if
nigga.
you don't do his
you
work.
going to burn,
if
nigga.
don't work-
You know
if
why?
don't
Because you
do
ain't
his
going to know what
work,
the fuck
you
to
don't
do
his
and where the
work.
fuck to
You
go.
don't do his work. You just
I do
talking,
his work
man.
everywhere I go,
No,
nigga.
you don't.
I do his work everywhere I
You're
go,
not,
nigga.
You're not speaking his
Believe
word,
that.
man.
I
You're
speak
not.
his word. Let me see the Bible then.
You're supposed to have your own Bible, man.
Yeah, you go get your share, nigga. You curse until you repent. Within 2 weeks, something major is going to happen to you.
Shalom,
You know
Israel.
who I am, nigga.
Test. Test.
Never fail.
Shalom, Israel. Shalom. Just a quick warm up. We got Jake out here bugging, man. See? Our people are destroyed, man. Let me start out with this real quick, man. Let me give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops at Great Millstone. And peace and salutations and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, the prophets. And to the men and women of the 12 lost tribes of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Shalom. Back with another lesson. I'll title this one, Trouble is Near, man. Trouble is near. Call halal, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, call halal, Yamla, Alahayanawa, Abanawa, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. And, you know, something that's on my spirit, you know, and as the title reads, trouble is near, man. You know, the Lord said he was going to go, you know, roughly paraphrasing it, man, that he was going to go, you know, like in a whirlwind, man. You know, a fury, the Lord's anger. The Lord tell you that, just roughly paraphrasing it, but, you know, the Lord's angry with the wicked every day. And we know judgment is going to start with 2/3 of the Lord's people, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, just like Jake was up here right now, you know, bugged out of his mind, man. You know, 2/3 of our people are through. They're through, man. They're through. You know, many of our people, you know, they you know, they're in a unity with everybody. You know, trying to unite with you know, so-called, you know, non-believers. The Lord told you don't have no fellowship with non-believers. And also, if two are unagreed, can they walk together? Can they, you know, can they be agreed? If they are unagreed with each other, are they able to walk? No, you can't. And the Lord told you, I didn't come to bring peace on earth, but rather division. And this is what's taking place here in the U.S. Babylon, man. That, you know, this place is cursed, man, and this place is divided. This place is completely divided on all levels, and the confusion, you know, all the, you know, the corruption that's going on. This place, the U.S., is spiritually known as Sodom and Egypt. You know, the land of confusion. You know, you could be walking down the street one day and you see a person, you don't know if it's a man or a woman. Just pure confusion. You know, they got all these different man-made religions and philosophies. You know, they in this place you can marry. You have the right to marry a tree or a dog, or, you know, it's just this place is just completely through, man. This place is full of confusion. But, you know, a lot going on in the headlines. A lot. You got the whole thing with this, you know, Donald Trump, and this is prophecy. Donald Trump signing that new act, that Genius Act. You know, with the whole cryptocurrency. And Donald Trump told you that this place, the U.S., is going to be the #1 place in the world, #1 crypto place in the world, the U.S. We see RFK Jr., he wants to bring forth those tractable bracelets. You know, this whole thing is, you know, we're moving away from the physical dollar bill. We're going into a digital money. See, financial technology. What this is going to lead to is the RFID, the micro chip, which is spoken about in Revelation, the 13th chapter, where no man can buy or sell. See, where no man can buy or sell. This is what it's all finna lead to. And Esau is the so-called white man who is in power, who's in rulership right now in 2025, who dictates policy in Congress. Esau, the devil, who is the physical counterpart of Satan. He is the new modern day Egyptian or Assyrian, Babylonian. See? He is in rulership, and he has an agenda that he's trying to fulfill. And this is ultimately to where he has full, complete control. You see? And you know, Donald Trump also with his budget, you know, bill that got approved, $9 billion to all this federal aid, you know, these federal aid cuts that are coming to your SNAP benefits, to your housing, Section 8, you know, Medicaid. You know, we are in Revelation, the 6th chapter. This is where we at right now. Revelation, the 6th chapter. Matter of fact, let me get it. Let me get it. Call Allah, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Revelation, the 6th chapter. Let me go here. Revelation 6 and 4. And it reads, it says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. See? And this is what Esau is doing, man. You know, they're opening up these all these detention facilities. You know, he's, you know, this the task force, the ICE agents, they're just blitzing you know, the so-called Latino Hispanic, the Northern Kingdom. You know, right along with the people here in Babylon, here in the U.S. You know, deportations, harassing people, you know, just, you know, being a beast, man, a wolf. You know, and this is only going to increase. But they're opening up all these different detention facilities, these different prisons. We see Alligator Alcatraz down there in Florida. We see Alcatraz is going to be open in the San Francisco Bay. They're talking about opening up the women's prison here in Northern California. Down there in Dublin, here in Northern California, a woman's prison, and turning that into a detention facility. They get ready to do that because Donald Trump has he signed these deals with these private prison organizations. They're going to be opening up 7 new prisons here around Babylon in the U.S. And this thing is picking up speed, but you know, this is not good, man. You know, at this point, you know, you could be you can get arrested without a warrant or just off suspicion. Anybody, you can leave your home, get arrested without a warrant, anything. This is where it's going. You know, some of them Democrats, they were basically saying Donald Trump, you know, and these ICE agents, his task force, they're just breaking the law. You know what I'm saying? They're just breaking the law, violating people's rights. But it says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. See? That sword. And we know, like I tell you in Ezekiel, that the sword is given into the hand of the slayer. And the Lord is going to use Esau, Edom. All nations going to get it because we're in the beginning stages of Jacob's trouble. See? We're in the beginning stages of Jacob's trouble, man. Salakia. But we're in the beginning stages of Jacob's trouble. And Esau is bringing out, you know, his military and all this AI technology. They're getting ready to take full control, man. And the Lord is going to allow him to do this for a short period of time. And to bring, you know, to bring trouble on judgment. He's going to use Esau to bring judgment on a good majority, 2/3 of his own people, and on down to the other nations. Because we know our people too, a good majority of our people are just bugged out, just like the young man who was up here right now trying to argue with me. You know, Jake is hard-headed, man. Jake is gonna learn. They're gonna learn. See? Matter of fact, let me go here. I'm just going in the spirit, man. And that young man up here, he just, you know, he's believing, and he, you know, said he believes in all these different, you know, Islam. He's naming Allah and Buddha and these different false gods and things like that. Our people are just, they're lost, man. A good majority of our people are just lost. Let me just grab this real quick. Isaiah, let me just go here. Our people don't want to listen, man. Isaiah 1 and Isaiah 1 and let me go here. Isaiah 1 and 3. I'll go straight to the point. Isaiah 1 and 3. It says, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doth not know, my people doth not consider. Right. Our people don't know, man. Our people don't know. Nor do they consider on who the true Lord is, and where their land is. They don't know who they really are, man. See? Our people reject. You try to tell them that they're Hebrew Israelites or, you know, about the scriptures, and they reject it, man. They don't know. So the Lord said, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doth not know, my people doth not consider. See? An ox is just symbolic, man. An ox is a simple animal, man, but it knows its master. See? But the Lord said, my people, they don't even consider. They have no clue. See? It says a sinful nation. See? A sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backward. See? See? And this is what they do. They provoke the Lord continually. You keep meddling and going into committing adultery physically and spiritually. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You know, a good majority of our people commit adultery physically and spiritually all day long. See? All day long. Spiritually going into these different man-made false religions. You know, sleeping with other married men's wives, married women sleeping with other married women's husbands. You know, it's just sickening out here, man. They just, the Lord tell you he's angry with the wicked every day. It says, 5, it says, why should ye be stricken any more? Ye will revolt and more and more. It says the whole head is sick. This is, you know, with a good majority of our people. The Lord said the whole head is sick and the heart faint. Right. Jake is sick, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. A good majority of our people are just sick out here, man. Spiritually, they don't have a clue. It's just sickening. Eating all the abominable foods. You know, worshiping and serving anything. You know, doing anything to get some money. Lie, cheat, rob, kill, all of that. They're sick out here, man. A good majority of our people. And the Lord said, why should ye be stricken anymore? You know, and the Lord uses these other nations. Because the Lord, he's not going to come down here by himself. The Lord is going to use these other nations like he did in times past with Israel. In Israel, Jerusalem is a people before a place. And he let these other nations whoop on you. They whoop on you, man. And the Lord, he didn't let Esau, Edom, the so-called white folks, just whoop on his people because they're in control. They dictate policy in Congress. They got the, you know, military and, you know, they're in rulership. And they just whoop on Jake all day long. And the Lord is like, you know, I punish you day and night, man. And the more I punish you, the more you rebel. You don't want to listen. Just like the young man who was saying, I got a bounty on my head, and you know, I'd have been to prison and jail, and you know, just totally gone, man. Just ain't gonna listen. The Lord did that to you, because look how hard-headed you are. You walk around, you got all these dreads in your head, you know, so smoking cigarettes and doing drugs and stuff like that. That's the Lord punishing you, man. Because you don't want to listen. And there's many other Jakes like that, man. They just, you know, they not gonna listen, man. So this is part of the reason, a good reason why the Lord is bringing that Jacob's trouble. A young man just like him. It says 6. It says from the sole of the foot even to the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and purifying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. And this just, like it's just symbolic to, you know, the whole way of our people, man. The Lord is comparing our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, tribes, Jake, man. He's comparing you to a bruised, ugly wound or a sore. No different from somebody riding on a motorcycle or riding a horse, and they end up falling and scraping the hell out of their knee, and you can see the from that wound when they fell, you see on that scrape all that it's to the white meat, on your knee or on your elbow or something, and it's just you ain't got and it's bleeding and bruised after a few days, and it looks ugly. No ointment, it ain't taken care of. That's right now in the end here. This is the current state of a good majority of our people, of Jake. You're like a unhealed, disgusting wound with no ointment, no treatment, no nothing. See? It says 7. It says your country is desolate, your cities are burned with fire, your land strangers devour it in your presence, and it is desolate as overthrown by strangers. See? And you look on the news and look what look what they're doing over there with the so-called Israelis, Amalek, and Elam, the Elamites over there. Look what they're doing. It's war over there in Jerusalem, Israel. It's war. And we know those are not the people of that land. Because the Lord told you it won't be no more war in that land, in the holy city, when the Lord when He comes back and restore His people. There's not going to be no more war. Ain't going to be no more violence. But they're just they're doing anything in that land right now. It's totally corrupted, defiled, perverted. Yeah, you turn on the news and you look at what they're doing over there. They're just tearing our land up. See? It says 8, it says the daughter of Zion is left as a cottage in a vineyard, as a lodge in a garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city. Just a little old shack. That's how the Lord's. That's how Jake is right now. It's just a dusty old shack right now. It says 9. It says 9. Except the Lord of hosts. Except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. See? So the Lord, we know the Lord has a remnant. See? The Lord got a remnant out of His people. And we know 2/3 of the Lord's people, judgment is going to come. Judgment is going to start with the Lord's people, a good majority of them, and on down to the other nations. See? Judgment. The Lord has a remnant out of His people, the chosen. See? This is why the Lord said, many are called, but few are chosen. And we know in this Jacob's trouble, 2/3 of the Lord's people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, 2/3 of the Lord's people is going to be judged right along with these other nations. Judgment. Right here in this place, the U.S., that's going to be hit by thermonuclear fire. And right along with the Lord coming back with innumerable amount of angels that shoot out lasers and lightning. This place is going to be destroyed forever. Those that are on the ground, you're going to be burnt up, man. You're going to be burnt up. And even leading up to that, you know, the famine, the pestilence, the judgments that the Lord is bringing. But the Lord said a remnant. This is who is going to be guided, protected, and delivered in this end, out of the Lord's people, his remnant, the elect. See? Let me go here. And we are in that time, man. We're in that time. Call halal, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. You got these spirits out here, man. You know, this is why you got to constantly pray. You know, fast. These people got spirits on them, man. They're just waxing worse. Prayer is mandatory. Ezekiel. Where we at? Ezekiel. This is Ezekiel seen it all, man. Ezekiel seen it all. And you know, him, the chariots, the destruction, you know what was going on in the land in Jerusalem. You know, Ezekiel went through it. Ezekiel's wife being put to death, and he continuing, you know, having to do the Lord's work. You see? And Ezekiel's right back in this same time. Call halal, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Call halal, Yumlah, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Let me go here. Ezekiel. This is Ezekiel 7. Ezekiel 7. And and that's another thing too that's going on in this place here in Babylon, here in the U.S., man. You got all these wild dogs. You know, people got dogs that are just, you got a lot of dogs just running loose. No owner, no leash, no nothing. Groups of dogs too. You're starting to see it more and more. And you know, there's animal shelter crisis right now throughout the U.S. You know that you know, they're overpacked, they're overwhelmed with animals, with dogs and cats and things like that. They're putting 4 and 5 different dogs into one, you know, what do you call it? You know, one little place, one storage. You know, yeah, that's serious, man. With that, it's more and more of these dogs that are just loose, no owner, no leash, no nothing. All kind of dogs too I've been seeing, all kinds. Pit bulls, Rottweiler, Doberman Pinschers, German Shepherds, just wandering, 2, 3 at a time. Yeah, this the end, man. Yeah. Yeah, Ezekiel. Let me go here. That's the spirit. Call Allah Yahweh Shemal Shah. Ezekiel, let me go here. Because this is truly the end right now, man. This is the end. Ezekiel 7, and I'll start at 1. Ezekiel 7 and 1. It says, moreover, Salakia. It says, Ezekiel 7 and 1, it says, moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, 2, also the Son of Man, thus saith the Lord, YAHAWASHI, unto the land of Israel. We know Israel, Jerusalem, is a people before a place. It says an end. The end is come upon the four corners of the land. Right? So, you know, judgment from the north to the west, to the east, to the south, no matter where you look right now. And we know ultimately in this place, the U.S., judgment is here and is going to increase, starting with a good majority of the Lord's people. The end is come. You know, trouble is near, man. It says, it says 3, it says, now is the end come upon thee, and I will send mine anger upon thee, and I will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense upon thee all thine abominations. See? All thine abominations. The Lord said He's going to recompense. He's going to repay you for all your wickedness, your spiritual adultery, physical adultery, eating all that abominable food, shrimp, crab, lobster, you know, celebrating all these paganistic holidays, you know, man on man, woman on woman. I mean, it's just sickening out here, man. It's complete sick. The Lord said He's going to recompense, man, to your ways. See? He's going to judge you according to your ways. And we know a lot of our people, and even, you know, throughout the world, people just don't care. They're just reckless, wanton. They're sloppy. They're doing what they want to do. You know, they're not looking to do thus saith the Lord. See? This judgment is coming, man. It says, it says 4. It says, and my eye shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity. See? The Lord said, and mine eye shall not spare thee, and neither will I have pity. And this is why the Lord said you got to seek the Lord early right now. See? He says seek the Lord early right now, because the Lord's not leaving no excuses, man. Why He can't be, you know, found. He has His men out here speaking. His word is all over the internet. His name, you know, who His people really are. But He's not leaving no excuses. People don't, you know, starting with His people, they don't consider, man, a good majority of His people. There ain't gonna be no mercy in the end except for the Lord's people, the elect out of the Lord's people. The unspeakable judgment, the unspeakable evil that's coming. See? The Lord not going to spare nothing except the remnant, the chosen, the elect out of his people. Other than that, it ain't gonna be no mercy. It ain't gonna be no mercy, man. The Lord not gonna spare. You gonna have people out here yelling and screaming and hollering and, you know, just completely, you know, through, man. They're gonna be terrified, completely terrified of all the, you know, all the violence that's gonna take place. We see it's picking up. The police, you know, we're coming into that time. There ain't gonna be no. You're not gonna be able to call the police. Those policemen they got families too. A lot of them, and they gonna have to protect what they got. See, the sheriffs, things like that. They are going to have to protect their own. We see right now there's a 911 emergency crisis right now unfolding, dispatcher crisis that's unfolding here in this place. See? And then you got all these different people that have came over here, you know, from all across the world. You got sleeper cells, you know, these suicide bombers and things like that. That came over here in these different rebel groups. I tell you, Daniel, man, a time like never before. This is what we're entering. And a good majority of our people, they're about to get caught up into this, man. They're going to get caught up into this. It says, you got families and things like that. The Lord is really, He going to turn up the heat, Jake. You see what He's doing right now amongst the tribes. You know, right now the northern kingdom is getting it. The southern kingdom is about to be really, they're really coming after that southern kingdom. You so-called Negroes, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. It says, "And my eye shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense thy ways. But I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thine abomination shall be in the midst of thee. And ye shall know that I am the Lord." Right? It says, you're going to know in this end, with all of this going on, because you've been warned that you know, this is coming from, you know, up above, a higher power. Because this is just too much going on right now, man. You can't even keep up with everything like that right now. And the corruption is just getting out of hand. You know, the leaderships are just being more and more aggressive. You know, civil war is coming. Civil war is coming. We are in a time of war. A lot of people about to be put to death. A lot. Starting with a good majority of the Lord's people. Going to be put to death, man. It says, 5. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, and evil, only evil, behold, is come." See? The end is come, man. We're here. They getting ready to strip, you know, you people from all your rights. They're getting ready to take all your rights from you and put you in a digital prison. It's going to be out here like Snowpiercer. Watch that movie Snowpiercer. You know, Apostle Tahar always talking about that movie The Hunger Games. Yeah. Go back and watch that. The Road. You see, you're going to need the Lord, man. This is why you got to seek the Lord right now and make your calling election sure. You got to be seeking the Lord right now. You need the Lord, because this judgment is going to be horrible, man. Horrible. People going to die of starvation out here. People going to be they're going to die with these from these pestilence, the diseases. It's going to get bad out here, man. Bad. Cannibalism, people going to get eaten alive. Horrible judgment, man. Horrible. It says, It says 7. It says, the morning is come unto thee, O thou that dwellest in the land. The time is come. The day of trouble is near. That's the point, man. The day of trouble is near. It's here. It's just gonna get bad. It's not gonna get good. They get ready to start turning your football stadiums, your baseball stadiums, your basketball, all your professional stadiums. They're gonna start turning those into these detention centers and concentration camps. See? That's what they're gonna start doing. They're gonna start taking these stadiums and putting more and more people in there and keeping you in there, man. Horrible judgments. Horrible. The day of trouble is near, and not the sounding again of the mountains. 8. It says, now will I shortly pour out my fury upon thee, and accomplish mine anger upon thee. I will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense thee for all thine abominations. The Lord keeps telling you, Jake. The Lord telling you He's going to fuck you up, man, because of your ways. Over and over and over. He keeps telling you. You want to keep, you want to try to go outside of what I'm telling you. The directions on what to do to seek the Lord is right here in the scriptures. Anything else outside of these scriptures that you're trying to do on your own or of man, you're going off. You're going off, man. And you have a lot of our people, they look in the scriptures and then, they open it and read some of that stuff and they don't believe it. They say, no. I don't believe that part. I don't believe that. No. Nope. And then they go on doing what they, what they want to do. The Lord gonna get you. They tell you, he that believeth on what the scriptures say, out of his belly shall flow the rivers of living water. See? See? He that believeth on what the scriptures say. And to study to show thyself approved. Study to show thyself approved. See? You gotta go in and you can't just be a hearer. You got a lot of you so-called Sunday Christians, your pastor tell you something and you just believe it. You don't go into the scriptures and read or, look up different words, go into the Hebrew, things like that, man. You don't do that, man. Now you're trying to do it, but this is spiritual. This is spiritual. It has to be in you. It can't be on you, man. See? But the Lord is telling you, it says 9, it says, in my eye, or Salaki, it says, and I will judge thee according to thy ways and will recompense thee for all thine abominations. The Lord will judge you according to your ways. And he sees everything. He sees everything. Ain't nowhere to run. Ain't nowhere to run. See? People are going to have to find out the hard way. Ultimately, a good majority of our people, Jake, you're going to learn, man. You're going to learn. Lord, he's telling you over and over and over, I'm going to, your ways. Your ways. What are you doing with your time? You got some Jakes that want to party all day. You got some Jakes that want to chase the bag all day long. Smoke weed. Go kick it. Want to get boxed. Play video games all day. Getting ready for all the different holidays. Watch the Super Bowl, the NBA playoffs. They don't consider the Lord, man. They're not fully invested. The Lord, he's not leaving no excuse, man. He's not leaving no excuse. We don't have too much more time. We got famine of hearing the words of the Lord are at the doorstep, right along with this micro C-hip. Things are they're moving fast, because the Lord tell you in Scripture that, roughly paraphrasing, that for the elect's sake, that the days would be shortened, and that no flesh would be saved. Roughly paraphrasing it. If it wasn't for the elect, man, all flesh would be out of here. They get ready to use them ICBM missiles. War. All these different militaries across the world are trying to strengthen their military capabilities and defense system, just like France. Over there in France, what's his name? President Macron. If I'm saying his name right. They quote me if I'm wrong. They just invested money into their defense system. Donald Trump is trying to create that Iron Dome. You see? This is what's going on right now. Russia and Ukraine continue to launch missiles at each other, right along with over there with the Israelis and the Palestinians. Let me Let me hop to 20. Let me hop over to, we'll stay in Ezekiel. Ezekiel 7 and 23. Yeah, Ezekiel 7 and 23. It says, Ezekiel 7 and 20, or no, Salakia. Yeah, we'll go here. We'll finish up with these last few. Ezekiel 7 and 22. It says, yeah, Ezekiel 7 and 22, Salakia. It says, my face will I turn also from them, and they shall pollute my secret place, for the robbers shall enter into it and defile it. 23. It says, make a chain. It says, for the land is full of bloody crimes, and the city is full of violence. Right? Starting with Jake. Our people kill, steal, and destroy a good majority of our people. And we know ultimately, you know, in this place, the U.S. is nothing but murder, corruption, violence. See? They blaspheme the name of the Lord in this place. And our people, a good majority of them believe on all these false gods and images and things like that. But starting with Jake, man, kill, steal, destroy, murder, corrupt, all of that, extortion. The land is full of bloody crimes, and the city is full of violence. A good majority of our people don't know where to go to find peace. When right here in the scriptures, this is where you come to find peace. It says 24, it says, wherefore I will bring the worst. See? The Lord said, he's bringing the worst. He's bringing the worst of what? The heathen. He's bringing the worst of the heathen, and they shall possess their houses. I will also make the pomp of the strong to cease. Their holy places shall be defiled. 25. Destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. And this is what's going to take place. All this violence, all this war. They're going to, right now, they want peace. They want peace, man. The world, you know, starting with a good majority of our people, and we see with the so-called Latino, Hispanic, the Northern Kingdom, with all this mass deportation and being detained. Oh, they crying for peace. They want peace. They want peace, man. The so-called Negro, they want peace. The oppression. We know Esau, Edom, the so-called white folks, you know, they help forward the affliction. But they're going to get it. But the Lord's judgment is going to start with the Lord's people at his sanctuary. 2/3 of the Lord's people, they're going to be put to death, man. And on down to the other nations. Judgment. With Jake. It's terrifying judgment, man. That's coming to a good majority of our people because of their behavior. Your behavior. Hard-headed. Hard-headed, man. You gonna get it. You gonna get it. You will have to be brought back in the kingdom as newborn babes through the loins of the elect, the remnant, out of the Lord's people, the men. You will be brought back into the kingdom as newborn babes and be put back into your rightful mind, because right now a good majority of our people are they're far gone, man. Their behavior. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, a good majority of our people, their behavior is horrible. It's not holy, it's whorish. And the Lord ain't dealing with that, man. So judgment is going to start with a good majority of his people at his sanctuary. And that's just it. Ain't nothing else to it. He said they're going to seek peace, and there shall be none. There ain't gonna be no peace right now. Not right now. Our people are too, starting with our people, a good majority of them are they're too far gone. They don't want to listen. See? And this goes for throughout the world, man. Ultimately, in this place, the U.S. Ain't no peace coming. Ain't no peace coming until the Lord come back and delivers his elect, the remnant. Period. And he sets up his kingdom right here on earth, right there in Jerusalem, in Israel. And the world is going to be ran in righteousness. See, the world gonna be ran in righteousness, man. It ain't gonna be no more violence and corruption and governmental scams and scandals. It ain't gonna be that. But trouble is near, man. Every kind of trouble and danger and disaster that you can think of is coming. It's coming. And a good majority of our people, Jake, man, you're through. You're through. But I'll leave it there, man. Lord told us to pray and watch. Continue to pray, watch, and fast. That's all we can do is wait. Wait on the Lord, man. This is not our battle. This is the Lord's battle. Right? This is the Lord's battle. We have to wait on the Lord. Wait. That's all you can do. Can't go out here and try to protest. You can't go out here and try to get reparations and all of that. You have to wait on the Lord, man. The Lord is he's bringing down our enemies, man. The other nations and the 2/3, man. Because they're not going to listen. They continue to mock and come against the men of the Lord. See? So, matter of fact, let me close out with this. Let me go here. Jeremiah. What is that? Jeremiah. It says Jeremiah 1 and 4. It says, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, 5, it says, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I adorned thee a prophet unto the nation. See? He said, I adorn thee a prophet unto the nations. See? The Lord said, I adorn thee unto a prophet unto the nations. And let me go here. I'll close out with this. What is that? Because the Lord, you've been warned over and over, Jake. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You have been warned over and over. You've been warned. That's the whole point. You have been warned, Jake. I'll close out with this, Salakia. I'll close out with this. It says, I'll close out with this. Jeremiah 26:3. Jeremiah 26:3, it says, if so be, they will hearken and turn every man from his evil way. If you're not rehearsing these laws, statutes, and commandments, you're going in the evil way. Period. It says, which I propose to do unto them because of their evil doings. 4, it says, and thou shalt say unto them, thus saith the Lord, if ye will not hearken to me to walk in my law, which I have set before you. 5, to hearken to the words of my servants, the prophets. Because the Lord told you, I've sent to you all my prophets still unto this day. Jeremiah, Isaiah, Ezekiel, Peter, Paul, King David, all of them. To hearken to my words, my servants, the prophets, whom I send unto you both, rising up early, sending them, but ye have not hearkened. And this is what's been happened. Our people they're not going to listen. See, they're not going to listen. The word is going out. The Lord's men are out here, and they just not going to listen, man. They're not going to listen. But, so over and over and over in the scriptures, the Lord is telling you, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, the tribes, Jake, and we know we have Jake scattered into every single nation on earth. The internet, the unicorn, the Lord ultimately set the internet up for His word to go out. It ain't like in ancient times where, the prophets were going to all these different, places, right? The Lord has set up the internet, and this ultimately in the end here, for His word to go into every single nation. The internet goes into every single place on earth. You got Hebrew Israelites that are into every single nation on earth. And here at Great Millstone, man, you got men, all across the world, man. Jake preaching, speaking the Lord's word. The name, who you are, who the enemies are, everything. The Lord, there's no excuse. The Lord is telling you over and over and over, you better change your ways. Because judgment is here, man. It's here. And judgment is going to start with 2/3 of the Lord's people. Ultimately, in this place, the U.S., this is where you're going to be put to death at. A good majority of the Lord's people. So, I'll go ahead and leave it there. And this is the time to be examining yourself more than ever, and moving closer and closer to the Lord. Because like he told you, his eye ain't gonna spare, man. The Lord's eye is not, if you're not in his elect, a part of the Lord's elect, he told you his eye ain't gonna spare. His eye ain't gonna spare. So, you know, I'll leave it there, man. But I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Shalom, Israel.